what you just mentioned is so important to bring as an actor. It is so important to bring character, not that you make a character, but a character that you are. You have character, you have respect, you have compassion, you have generosity, you have love, you have humanity. Because as an actor, you need to be able to tap into all those feelings. You need to be able to tap into all those sides of a character.
Yeah, yeah. It's that organic impulse that we have, that when you do just exactly what you're talking about, said you don't have to think about having integrity or respect or responsibility or even, oh, I'm going to give this character that. It's already there. It's part of our being. And when you're free, then all those things flow from you in a way that is really really good, and the audience sees it. And the way we learned it, the improv scenes, is I gave you who you are. It's three lines. I tell you who you are, you tell me who I am. I tell you where we are, you tell me more about where we are. Then I tell you why we're here, and then you tell me more about why we're here. It's really hard to do, but if you follow those three, practice them like you have to practice everything else, then you can. And the audience doesn't really know what's going on, but what's happening is that I'm not making myself that sheriff or that the hero. You're I'm making you the hero. And the audience say, wow, something's happening here. There's a lot of giving going on here. Giving and taking. I'm giving to you, you're giving to me. So it's like the best of what we want in the world, to see why we're all so enthralled with the Ukraine, the people of the Ukraine, what they have done, what they continue to do for themselves and their neighbors and humanity and for the world, to show, wow, he didn't go into hiding the first day like everybody wanted him to, because everybody's sure that uh, Putin had his eye right on him and was going to just take him down in 3 seconds. But he stayed, and that's what we need. You got to stay in the picture, and the important thing is, like, there are no small parts. There's nobody who's an extra in life. If you're an extra in a scene, don't don't be just an extra in a scene that you just, because that's what we always see, is just somebody in the background just pretending to talk, or just like. But when the real interesting scenes are when you see people in the background that are really having a conversation, because in movies with a big cast, with a lot of stars, everybody else is alive and doing something, and then they see somebody and they it's interaction within the room. I was doing a show, yeah, just real quick, where I'm at on a bench in a church, and my family comes in, and they're all into their own scene, right? But n- none of them remember to touch their grandfather, like a normal Latino family would do, right? You walk into a church, I stand mi abuela, abuelo, because when you touch somebody, man, that's some mojo coming back to you. I recognize you. Oh man, then you're good for 1,000 years.
I just want to say that is who you have been throughout. You have been, when you talk about the improv and the three things that you bring to improv, you have done that as an actor all your life. I mean, throughout all your work, that is what you've done. Um, Giving to the other characters, giving to the other actors, giving and enjoying. One thing I will say about you, Pepe, is that you are a joyful actor. you bring joy in every role, even if the character dies, even if, but you bring a humanity that we don't see a lot of, especially not for Latinos, because the roles are so few and far between that you started out the conversation talking about, I just want to get my lines in. I just want okay, my line is going to come. But that's not what you project on screen. What you project on screen is always the humanity, which is your stuff is so subliminal yet so profound, because you come with joy, you come with gladness. And I'm in awe of watching your work, how simplistic it is yet so complex,
Mhm.
that if I hate to say this, but if you were a white actor, you would have won at least 10 Oscars. And so, but to see your work and to see how you hit the mark, how you just come in, you're just being present. You said it earlier. An actor's job is to listen, to be present. You talked about the grandfather, that in real life you would tap the grandfather, you would be affectionate, you would surround him. And that's what you bring to the characters that you do. You bring life to it. So I just wanted to say that, because I think sometimes people see actors but they don't realize all the intricacies that go in, especially for Latino actors and actors of color. You don't know when you're going to get the next job, and to be able to just leave it all there, and not organically, to leave it all there, to come in, be present, and just do what you do, and then go, I did a good day's work, and not feel like I should have done this and I could have done that, and I could, but just to, there's a looseness to you, there's a warmth to you, there's a inviting energy to you, that I'm sure that you brought that when you came in, which to Hollywood, which allowed you to book 5 jobs back to back.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was never a surprise. My first movie was in 1964 in Corpus Christi, where I was the lead. I was a bullfighter, and I wasn't surprised that I got the lead in my own hometown at 19, and I was in college, and they're looking for a bullfighter. I was the only Chicano actor, so I was the guy everybody mentioned, and because everybody knew, because I told everybody that I was going to Hollywood, that I was an actor, and I don't remember anybody ever saying, "No, don't be stupid. You're not gonna go to Hollywood." Except one friend when we were in the Marines, and he stuttered a little bit, and he would say, "A poco you think you're gonna be a movie star? A poco you think you're gonna be a movie star?" But a movie star was never what I was. Well, I came from the Sandlot. I was a terrible student. I just couldn't concentrate, and I probably had one of those initials that they throw around these days. that So, but it's anyway. It's and going back to that scene, what happens in scenes, because this is a lot for actors, right? Is that we're always looking at the star. We're always, if we're in a scene and you want to please the star, you want to make sure that the star knows you're there and that you're paying attention to the star. But what about if you just pay attention to the waiter who's pouring you the water, and you react in a natural way, just like, and you can't, if you're an extra, you're not supposed to, if you're in a scene, you can't be doing dialogue when the dialogue is going on. But if you just have a moment with them, just show your gratitude with just the nod, the not, and nothing.